Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Scott. I'm alcoholic. Let's take a few moments in each and own way invite God to the meeting. And they will very slowly, I say again slowly, there may be Yankees here, and I love the Yankees, but I can't pray as fast as they do. We're going to slowly whisper the Serenity Prayer. Let's invite God to the meeting. Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. For me, that changes it from a ritual back into a prayer. My city's been growing at a ridiculous rate. We've had over 30,000 people a year moving to Nashville for the last decade. And we got traffic jams now. We never had them before. My history is to sit in a traffic jam and just cuss. And what I do now is I reach into my vest pocket and I pull out a clown nose, and I am carrying them all the time. And I reach a little deeper and pull out the bubbles, and I start blowing them out the window. And when I do that, the other drivers see the bubbles, and they look and see the clown nose. And they start laughing. And when they laugh, I laugh. Laughter's contagious. And we're still stuck in traffic, but I've turned it into a party. If we stay stuck, I get out and start passing them out. I'm carrying 50 or 100 of both all the time in my car. I forgot to prep for this thing. I was going to do this. I forgot. But this is from my stash from the car that lives there all the time. Yeah. Let me show you a bubble trick, all right? So you blow and you get bubbles, like so. However, if you turn it at about a 70-degree angle, blow hard, you get the little bitty ones. So you can do a bubble trick for your grandchild. There you go. See them? So if you would, I'd like everybody to just draw your bubbles and blow straight up. And let's fill the room. Yeah, I'm certifiable. I know that. I'm not worried about it. Somebody asked me not too long ago if anybody from my family suffered from insanity. I said, no, I think they all enjoy it very much.
I'm stealing that line. I'm stealing that line.
Have a good time with it, John. So, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just fun? Isn't that just fun? Thank you.
Tough to take yourself too seriously blowing bubbles.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. And I also carry those in case, like I'm walking through an airport or a grocery store, and there's a mom there with two kids, and they're good kids. I'm going to tell you right now, those are good kids. They're just having a hard day. And I nose up and get about 3 or 4 feet, 6 feet away from them, start blowing bubbles. The screaming stops right now. Right now. Kids will lock on the bubbles like a good bird dog coming on point. And I go up to the mom, I say, I'm a stranger, don't want to give your children anything, but if the kids can have the noses and bubbles, I'd like to give them to you. In 2024, I had one lady turn me down once. All the rest of them, what happens? What happens? Those kids had their day lifted. Who else? Mom. Who else? Everyone that saw it. Who else? Me. If I'm sloshing love and joy all over you, it splatters onto me every time. It can't be blocked. In 1989, I had a 5-year trip, and I took 3 guys I sponsor to Fall Creek Falls State Park, which is an hour or so east of Nashville, for a weekend of prayer, meditation, reading spiritual literature. We did fish once, and we rented 2 canoes, but we didn't play with the people. We just rented the canoes, and we were self-contained for that weekend. And Saturday night, we started on Thursday, Saturday night we're sitting in this beautiful little cabin, and the only light is from this stone fireplace, and it's cool out, not cold, but cool. It's mid-October. We're talking about a woman in our home group who just come out of a coma. And she said that while she was in the coma, she could feel the love and the prayers being sent to her. What I'm going to share with you tonight arrived. We didn't write it. We didn't create it. It showed up. And it's called a love meditation. The mental image, if you can get one, is love is a column. It's the size of the top of my head, comes down out of heaven, down through the top of my head, out my nose, my mouth, and my chest. Mine originally, and for the longest time, was silver, and it shimmered. It threw in all these little rainbows, and today it looks more just like a rainbow. John talks about his being gold and shimmering. I don't know what yours looks like. And I do that as I talked about the love meditation, I talked about prayer this last time. And I spend around 20 minutes to sometimes as many as 30 sending love. I send it to all the places. I packed this room tight with it this morning before I left the room. I send it to all the men I sponsor and their significant others. I send it to all of my family members. I've been sending it to my husband-in-law. For those of you not native to Nashville, my husband-in-law is the guy that's currently married to my first wife. It's a husband-in-law. And he's dying of cancer. And I'm not mad. And I send love to people who are needing help. They're physically not doing well. I don't tell God to heal them. I send them love. I send love to the war zones. I send love to politicians I like and politicians I don't like. I send love to lots of people. And I send love to all the places I'm going today. So there'll be some there when I get there. And so I'm going to invite you to a love meditation. And what's going to happen, let me describe it for you. I'm going to take you on a guided imagery. At some point, I'll say something like, sat quietly in God's presence and absorb love. And I'm going to start naming people. God, please help us send love to our mothers. And I'm going to start naming people. I might name somebody you don't have. I could name brothers and sisters, and you're an only child. Pick somebody. There's not a mistake available. I might name somebody that's already gone to the other side. My parents are gone. I think they're receiving this love. I really think they are. I'm going to send love to some places, and then I'm going to bring us back here. You're going to think this is over 3 times before it's over. You can come out of, my experience has been you come out of meditation anytime by simply opening your eyes. That's all you got to do. I'm going to encourage you to please keep your eyes closed until I specifically say, and now open your eyes. If you can do that, I think you'll have a little bit more, it'll work better for you. It's good for me to remain perfectly still in meditation and to get in a body position where I'm not flexing anything. And these chairs are really good for this. So what I'm going to recommend that you do is lean as far forward as you can. Bend at the waist and lean forward, like now would be a good time. Lean forward. I know this is an instruction. That's not easy for you. Slide your butt as far back in the chair as it will go, and now sit up straight. And I think what you'll find is that your shoulders are over your hips, your head is floating, and you're flexing absolutely nothing to remain in that position. You may want to lie down on the floor, put your feet up in the chair. If that moves you, go for it. If you want to lay on the floor, go for it. Whatever you want to do is okay with me. I'm going to name some muscle groups to flex and relax. I'm going to use 20% of your strength. Don't honk down. Just use about 20% of your strength. You may need to cough or sneeze while we're in process. I'd like to encourage you to cough or sneeze. It's much easier to deal with than a blue person. If something happens in meditation that distracts me from the meditation, I think of it like a sign on the highway. It was there, and then it wasn't. So if you will now, close your eyes. Get in that position. You want to turn the lights out for me? Thank you. And I'm going to do some breathing and flexing and relaxing. So if you will now, exhale and slowly inhale. And blow it out. And exhale and slowly inhale. And blow it out. And exhale. And slowly inhale. And just release. Using about 20% of your strength, clench your jaw, press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, wrinkle up your face, and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. Flex your neck muscles, raise your shoulders up to your ears, and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. Using 20%, make fists, flex your forearms and upper arms, and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. This will be shallow. Flex your chest and stomach muscles and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. Flex your buttocks and your entire pelvic area and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. Flex your thighs and calves, press your toes to the floor and exhale. And slowly inhale. And release. A summer's day, blue sky with a few puffy white clouds, flip-flops, Bermuda shorts, a T-shirt. You're in motion, but you're sitting down. You're in a vehicle. It's a bus. It's a large bus. And you're sitting on the aisle about halfway back. The bus is full of people, and they're having a good time. They're digging and scratching and laughing and singing, and it's just a lot of fun. And you look around, and you realize you know everybody on the bus. The people in your row and the row right in front of you, right behind you, are people you work with, people you live with, members of your home group. And then further to the front and back are guys that you knew in high school and grade school and neighbors that you used to live near and family members you only see at holidays. And you know everybody on the bus. Looking out the window of the bus, you see the shadow, and you realize that on the roof of the bus there are containers. There are boxes and trunks of various shapes, and in them are the things that trouble you. Finance, romance, whatever. They're all lashed down tightly to the top of the bus, and the bus has begun to slow. As it slows down, the noise gets less. And the bus comes to a stop, and it's dead quiet, and they're all looking at you. And you realize this is your stop. So you get up, and you walk to the front of the bus, and there sitting in the driver's seat's one of the guardian angels, and he says to you, all these people and all these things that trouble you and that you think about will be safe in my keeping. Have a nice trip. The door opens, you step off on the curb. The door closes, the bus puts up the hill. People hang out the window waving, we'll see you later, we're going to be fine. And the bus disappears over the hill. And you stand alone, but not lonely. Turning your back to the street, there's a small knoll and a path, and you start up the hill. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Cresting the hill and starting down the other side, staying on the path, there are rose bushes, yellow on your left and red on your right. Left foot, right foot. Possibly you pick one or more roses, maybe not. Left foot, right foot. And in front of you, the enchanted forest. Left foot, right foot. Walking into the forest off to your left, a squirrel sits on the stump. He pauses as you pass. He knows you're both safe. Left foot, right foot, left foot. You approach a small stream and step out of your flip-flops and into the stream. It's only ankle deep, but the water is so clear it feels like it's cleansing your entire body. And on the floor of the stream there are stones, about the size of the first knuckle on your index finger. They're magnificently colored stones. There are red stones for energy. There are brown stones to remind you of the fertile earth. There are blue stones for sadness and grief, without which there could be no joy. There are green stones for growth. Gold stones for success and joy. And purple stones, the color of royalty, to remind you you're the son of the greatest king. You are prince of the kingdom. Possibly you pick up one or more stones and drop them in your pocket, maybe not, but you begin to start upstream, sloshing left foot, slosh right foot, slosh left foot. The stream curves around to the left, and as it curves around, you see ahead of you the pool and the magnificent waterfall. Off to your right, a cabin. Some old folks are rocking on the front porch of the cabin. They smile and wave, and you wave at them, but you don't go their way. Staying in ankle-deep water, moving around to your left, you skirt around the edge of the pond, and as far as you can see, there are flowers, beautiful flowers being tended by magnificent butterflies. Some of the butterflies depart from the others and circle around you, maybe land on your head and shoulders. And there are 2 steps beside the waterfall, and you go up them, left foot, right foot. And behind the waterfall, a place for you to sit quietly, looking through the waterfall at the magnificent scene, absorbing God's love. God, please help us send love to our mothers. God, please help us send love to our fathers. God, please help us send love to our grandparents. God, please help us send love to our brothers and sisters. God, please help us send love to our wives and sweethearts. God, please help us send love to our children and grandchildren, those that we have, those that we will have. God, please help us send love to people we know that are in need of healing or in need of a gentle passage to the other side. God, please help us send love to our sponsors. God, please help us send love to our sponsees, those that we have and those that we will have. God, please help us send love to our home group. God, please help us send love to people who irritate us, who rub our fur the wrong way. God, please help us send love to places on planet Earth where there's fighting and anger. God, please help us send love to political leaders that we like and those that we don't like. God, please help us send love to each other in this room. God, please help us in love to all of planet Earth. Night has fallen and there are stars. There are billions of stars. And they form themselves into great pinwheel clusters called galaxies. And in the Milky Way galaxy, far out on one of the spiral arms, an average star called the sun. And on the third planet out from that sun, in the northern hemisphere, on the North American continent, in the United States, in the South, in Tennessee, toward the middle between Nashville and Chattanooga, at Swanee, on this campus, in this building, in this room. Welcome home. Please keep your eyes closed. Each in our own way, a gentle prayer of thanksgiving for a safe trip. Amen. Keep them closed. If you'll now wiggle your fingers and stop. Now wiggle your toes and stop. Pick your left foot up, move about an inch away from the right. Pick your right up, move about an inch away from the left. Slowly bring your hands up to your face and pat the fingertips, the pads just on your cheeks, patting very lightly, patting your cheeks and coming together, patting your nose and eyelids, gently patting your eyebrows and coming up to your forehead, separating around the sides, patting your temples and ears and neck, and laying your hands back down to rest. Drop your head forward, put your chin on your chest and roll it around to the left and back all the way back and around to the right and back upright. Slowly raise your hands up above your head like you're signaling for a touchdown. Reach as far as you can. Flex everything you got and flex and cough and clear your throat. And bring your arms back down and give yourself a hug, a real hug. You deserve one. Just sort of move around a little bit, twist your trunk, whatever you're comfortable with. And we're in no hurry here. No hurry at all. But when you think you're ready, open your eyes. If you open too soon, close them again. We're in no hurry here. I'd like to give some credit where credit's due. The bus ride is a gift from Miss Linda, my second wife. The stones in the stream are from her also. She and I came out of meditation one morning, and she said she had a new one. She had gone on the walk through the woods, and instead of coming to the stream, she came to a clearing, and it had rained, and the base of the rainbow was in the clearing, and she walked up to it. There was a door. And she walked in, and there were stairs. She walked up and sat in the arch of the rainbow, and I couldn't stand it. So I turned the colors of the rainbow into stones and put them in the stream. A couple of years ago at a treatment center, I was doing this, and one of the guys said he picked up a stone. So I added that. I open and close my days with this thing every day. And it has been such a magnificent gift for me. And I believe in love. And I think they receive it, especially those that have already gone to the other side. And I'm always curious if anybody picked up a stone and what color. I have no idea if it means anything. I'm just always curious. Anybody willing to share? What'd you get? Red and brown. Okay. Anybody else?
Green and gold.
Green and gold? Yeah.
I picked up a handful, put it in my pocket, walked a little bit, picked up another handful, threw it up in the air.
All right. I hadn't had that one before. Yeah. Well, but he threw them up in the air. Now he's celebrating. That was great. If he kept him, he's greedy. He was celebrating. That's great. That's absolutely great stuff. Yeah. Barkley, you want to share it?
Sure.
Here.
Okay. Sc- Scott, I normally get along with people, but there's a handful of folks that I've just not been able to get along with, and one of those people was this producer I used to work with, and I hated her, and she felt the same way, and we were good with that, and we couldn't be in the same room with each other. I mean, our hair, and I was talking to Scott about it one time, and he said, "I want you to send her love." Great, that sounds great, Scott. And he did. He said, every time you think about her, every time you see her, anytime she crosses your mind, or whether it's good or bad, I just want you to send her love. Just send her love. And so I started sending her love. And at first it was like, God, I want to send that beep love, right? And I said, I know she's a beep. You know she's a beep, but I'm sending that beep love. And I started doing that, and it really was. It was maybe a couple of weeks. I don't even know. And I'd gotten into work a little bit early, and it was raining outside, and I was talking to Scott on the phone about some huge problem that I can't remember what it was. And I'm sitting there talking, and there's a knock on the car window, right? And I said, here, hold on a second. I looked over, and it's the beep, right? And I'm going, hold on a second, right? And I roll down the window, like that, right? I said, yeah. She said, hey, I was just on my way over to Donut Den, and I wanted to know if you'd like me to pick you up at an eclair or anything. You know what? No, I'm good, but thank you, right? Scott? And I'm telling you, nothing changed except I started sending her love. Nothing. And from that point on, it was just different. Our relationship was just different. I've had the same experience, and as a teacher, there's another teacher that I couldn't stand, and I started sending that love. And he walked up to me in the hallway, said, hey, Barkley, how are you doing? Anyway, the thing just works. It really does.
Years ago, I was an independent manufacturer's rep, and I repped about 25 companies in the same industry, and they knew it. And my largest manufacturer was about a third of my income. If I lose them, I'm out of business the same day. And the pricing authority there was a woman, and I was absolutely certain they had a special parking place in their parking lot for her broom that she rode to work every day. The only explanation for the way she acted is that she was still mad because that house fell on her sister. And just nothing but try. And I can't sell anything without getting her rubber stamp on it. And I had hired this young Christian girl, a really sweetheart of a girl, and as my assistant. And she and I were sitting one morning running this woman into the ground when she said to me, wait a minute. You and I both know we're not supposed to talk bad about anybody ever. I said, you're right. I taught her the love meditation. And we started that morning sending that woman 5 minutes of love meditation every morning. I think it was that Friday. It may have been the following Friday. And that woman called my office, and we were on the phone for 10 minutes when I realized she called me to chat. I couldn't believe it. Nothing else had changed. A few months later, I went to the National Trade Show. They had a hospitality suite. Now, I got my own rules when I go someplace where they're serving booze. I go late, I leave early, I've got my own transportation, come through the door carrying a drink. No thanks, I got one. I got a planned a telephone call with one of you while we're there if I might have to stay for any period of time. I got my rules. So I walk into this place, there's a couple hundred people in this room, and she sees me, starts elbowing people out of the way to come hug me, to tell me I'm the best rep in the country. And if she had more people like me and Sheila to deal with, her life would be so much better. The room came to a stop because everyone knew her like we had. And I spent the rest of that weekend with stranger guys coming up to me and saying, how in the world? And I said, well, I'll tell you, but you're probably not going to like it. And I don't think anything will stand against love. I believe it's the most magnetic and the most powerful force in the universe, and I do not enter into this thing lightly. And I hope you enjoyed the love meditation. Some may be interested. That was 13 minutes from close your eyes to open them when you're ready. Some will think it was a lot longer. Some will think it was a lot shorter. It's funny how meditation tends to warp time. While the lights are on, yeah. Yeah, just now. Just now.
You do a guided meditation, decline more music or whatever.
Yeah, also I do two, I got two other ones that you've done in the past on the tape.
Okay. Yeah. So if you would, while we're still in the dark, let's do the bubbles again in the dark, if you don't mind. I just love the bubbles.
Isn't there a hillbilly song about that? Bubbles in the dark?
Ryan, where's your notes?
Tiny bubbles. Isn't that beautiful, though? Look at that. If you blow up, they last longer. So we're going to take about a 12-hour break.
Okay.
Something like that. Somebody got something else, John? But time out. Wait.